So now I am going to take up something which is absolutely new. New means I would introduce in front of you a concept called array. Array, a new concept of C that you will learn. What is array? Definition of array. Array is a collection of similar data types. This is the definition of array, collection of similar data types. What does it mean? Let us try to understand it with an example. Say for example, you tell the user, normally what you do, you tell the user printf, enter n. If you have to scan n numbers from the user, you firstly tell the user enter n, and user enters n, scanf, you scan it, %d, scanf, %d, ampersand n. This is how you scan, and here n contains the number of values that will be entered by the user. So to scan those values one by one, what do? You go for a for loop for I equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus, and you scan it like scanf, %d, ampersand, say number. So you scan the numbers one by one. So here what do you need? You need an integer n, you need an integer number, and you need an integer I. So you scan the numbers one by one. So what have you done? You have entered, you told the user enter n, user has entered a certain value which you have scanned in n. Now you have iterated a for loop from I equal to 1 to I equal to n. So n number of times this for loop is iterating I plus plus every time. N number of times you are scanning the next number. So this for loop is over. This for loop does not contain anymore. You have broken out of this, you have come out of the for loop after n times. Now the user you want to do a certain thing. What you want to do is you want to print all the numbers that you have scanned. What I meant to say is, again from I equal to 1 to I less than equal to n, I plus plus, that is n times iterating a loop, you want to print all the numbers you have scanned, or maybe you want to access all the numbers that you have scanned. You want to print each and every number that you have scanned. My question in front of you is, will this logic of printf %d number work? I mean to say, I have scanned the numbers one by one. When I was 1, I have scanned the number. When I plus plus happens, I becomes 2, you have scanned the next number. Then again I plus plus happens, I is 3, you have scanned the next number. In this way, you have scanned n numbers. Say n is 5, you have scanned 5 numbers. You have gone out of the loop. Now you are saying, I want to print these 5 numbers one by one over here. Will this work? Will this work? Let me try to find out. Let me execute this program. All of you do know at the back of your mind that this will not actually work. This will print something different. And most of you know that what it will print. But still, let me run it and then explain. I have scanned n numbers one by one in the variable number, one by one I have scanned it. Coming out of the for loop, I have printed those numbers for I equal to 1 to n. I want to print this numbers for numbers. So I have used this for loop I equal to 1 to n, and every time I have printed this number. Let me see what it does. Alt R enter. Enter n, say 5 numbers. I have printed 2, 7, 6, 4, 9. So I have scanned these numbers. See what it prints. It prints 5 times, it prints 9. So if I write over here, do you understand what I meant to say, what I have done? Say I have scanned it. Now every time you print the number, so every time you have printed a number, it has been printed in the same line. If I use a /n, then it will be better understood. Say enter n is 3, and I print 9, and I enter 9, 7 and 8. 3 numbers. When I enter, it prints 888. It does not print 978. What has it printed? It has printed the last number. In fact, last time also, remember what was it printing? The last number. Again, if I run, you check out. Alt enter, say 4 numbers I will enter, 2, 8, 6 and 7. If I enter, I have printed the numbers. What will it print? 7777, the last number. Why is it happening like this? It is happening because you have scanned the numbers one by one in the variable called number. So first time you enter the loop, you have scanned a number within the variable called number itself. Second time you went to the loop, yes, I is 2, but the number you have scanned is again in the variable number. And this new number has overwritten the previous number that you scanned. You scanned the first time. Your second time scanning has overwritten that. So again, when you are coming back with I equal to 3, you are again scanning within the variable called number. So that is this third scan of a number that is again overriding the previous number that was scanned. Fourth time I is coming back with I equal to 4. Again you are scanning, but this time again the fourth number has overridden the previous number. So what is this number variable containing at the end when you are going out of the loop? It is containing the last number that was scanned. So every time you have printed 4 times, if I go by the last example, 4 times you have printed the last number. You have not printed all the numbers. All those numbers that you had scanned one by one are all lost, are all overridden. The number contains the last number that was scanned. My question is there any way of keeping those numbers intact with you even after you go out of the for loop? Yes, this program could have been done. You could have entered, you have gone for this printf over here only. But then what would have happened is, after every scan, the number would have been printed. But I want all the numbers to be scanned, after that to print all the numbers one by one. So my point is there any way of saving all those numbers? There is a way. There is a way. What is that way? The way is, if I can keep the numbers within numbers like number 0, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in this way. If I can keep those numbers scanned and saved, the way out is array. As I told you, it's a collection of similar data types. Data types means integer, maybe a collection of integers. What I meant to say is, instead of declaring number, if I can declare A, maybe 100. See how I have declared it. Int A 100. To make it more clear, ARR 100. Check out this one, ARR 100. ARR 100 basically means not one integer, but 100 integers. I repeat, ARR 100. When you declare, say, I, what are you declaring? You are declaring one integer I, which can contain one number. But when you are declaring ARR 100, you are declaring space for 100 integers, in which case ARR 0. ARR 0 is the first integer, ARR 1 is the next integer, ARR 2 is the next integer. In this way, there are 100 integers. So this starts from 0. ARR 100 means you start from ARR 0, then ARR 1, then ARR 2. In this way it continues. Because you have started from 0, 100 integers will mean the last one is ARR 99. So you have started from ARR 0, ARR 1, ARR 2 up to ARR 99. It means that when you are declaring an array ARR 100, you are basically declaring 100 integers. The first being ARR 0, second being ARR 1, third being ARR 2, and the last one being ARR 99. It starts from 0, that's the rule of C. The first one is ARR 0, so the last one is ARR 99, because there are 100. So if you count from 0 to 99, there are 100 numbers. So 100 integers have been declared, called ARR 0, ARR 1, ARR 2, and so on, up to ARR 99. What I mean to say is, if here I, instead of starting from for I equal to 1, if I start from 0 and continue up to less than n, say user has entered 5. Now I'm starting from 1 and going up to n means, say n is 5. Starting from 1 and going up to n, that is less than equal to n, will mean I is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers. 5 times iteration. But if I scan n as 5 and start from 0 and go up to less than 5, then it means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, still 5 numbers. See what I want to mean, what I am meaning over here. I am meaning, say n is 5. Till now you are writing this as I equal to 1, I less than equal to n. Say n is 5. So you are starting with I equal to 1, then I equal to 2, then I equal to 3, then I equal to 4, then I equal to 5. After that, once I becomes 6, it is not less than equal to 5, you are going out. So you are iterating using I equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times? 5 times. Now suppose n is 5, you don't write as I equal to 1, but instead you start from 0 and don't go up to less than equal to n, but go up to less than n. Then basically you are iterating starting from 0. So 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Once it becomes 5, less than n is false, less than 5, 5 less than 5 is false, it will go out. So you are iterating as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, still 5 times. So because an array starts from 0 and goes up to 99, if I declare as array 100, so I start from I equal to 0 and go up to less than n, and every time I scan the number, not in the variable ARR, but within ARR 0, ARR I. See, interesting, ARR I. Why? Now you will understand very soon. Forget about this part, next part, only consider up to this. See what I have done. I have told the user enter n. I have scanned it within the variable n. So say suppose user has entered 5. I have scanned 5 within n. Now I have started for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, scanf %d ampersand ARR I. So first time you are entering with what value of I? Say n has been entered as 5. So say with what value of I are you starting? I you are starting with 0. Scanf, where are you scanning it? I is 0. So ARR I will mean ARR 0. You are scanning within ARR 0. You are scanning within your first declared integer. Then I plus plus, I becomes 1. I was 0, I becomes 1. So this time you are scanning in ARR I, that is ARR 1, not in the same number. Previously when you were writing ampersand number, you were scanning in the same number. Now you are no more scanning in the same number. First time I was 0. First time you entered the loop with I equal to 0. So you scanned within ARR 0, you scanned within this integer. Now you are scanning, you are coming back to the for loop, start of the for loop, I plus plus makes it I equal to 1. So ARR I is ARR 1, you are scanning within ARR 1. You are scanning within ARR 1. Next integer you are scanning, ARR 0 is as it is. ARR 0 contains the number that was entered first time. ARR 1 contains the next number, the number you are scanning now. So I next time becomes 2. I becomes 2, you are scanning within ampersand ARR I means you are scanning within ARR 2. So you are scanning within this integer, your first integer remains as it is. Again I you are incrementing, I becomes 3. So the next number is scanned within ARR I, that is ARR 3. Again I becomes 4. You are scanning within ARR I means you are scanning within ARR 4. ARR 0, ARR 1, ARR 2 remains, ARR 3 remains intact. You are scanning within ARR 4. I becomes 5. I less than 5 is false. 5 less than 5 is false. You go out of the loop. You have scanned 5 numbers, and where have you kept them? You have kept them within ARR 0, ARR 1, ARR 2, ARR 3, ARR 4. You have scanned it and kept it within different variables. Now if you have to print, you cannot print number, you have to print what? You again can print ARR I, and this time it will work fine, because again I not 1, remember I is from 0 to less than n. So this time what you are doing, you are printing, first time you are printing ARR 0 which is as it is, next time ARR 1 as it is, next time ARR 2 and so on. The previous numbers which you have scanned is intact and you are printing them. I explained one last time. Say AN has been entered as 5. So you enter this loop. User enters 2. User enters 2. You have told the user to enter. So you can use a printf over here also. Printf enter the numbers 1 by 1. You can write this just to make it easy to understand for the user. You have scanned in, you have told the user enter the numbers 1 by 1. You can also say enter the %d numbers. %d means what will this %d replace? This will be replaced by n. So n has been scanned as 5. Basically you tell the user enter n, user enters 5, you are telling enter the 5 numbers 1 by 1. Now user will enter and you keep on scanning. So user enters the first number as 2. You have entered with I equal to 0. User enters 2. Where are you scanning? ARR 0. What does ARR 0 becomes? ARR 0. You have entered with ARR. We have entered with I equal to 0. So where did you enter? You have entered with I equal to 0. So where are you scanning the number? You are scanning the number within ARR 0. What does it become? 2. The loop iterates. I becomes how much? I becomes 1. You again enter the loop. This time I is 1. User enters 7. Where are you scanning it? You are scanning it within ARR I. I is 1. You are scanning it within ARR 1. ARR 1 is how much? Say user enters 7. So you are scanning it within ARR 1 which is 7. Next time you go back, I is how much? I is 2. So you are scanning it where? You are scanning within ARR 2. What have you entered? You have entered say 8. So ARR 2 is how much? ARR 2 is 8. Again you go back. I is how much this time? I is 3. So where are you scanning? You are scanning within ARR I. That is you are scanning within ARR 3. And user has entered. So this time I was 2. Previous time I was 2. So ARR 2 was 8. This time I is 3. So this scanning will happen in ARR 3. What is ARR 3? Say user enters say 6. So 6. Again you go back. I is how much? I is 4. I plus plus. I is 4. So you are scanning within ARR I means you are scanning within ARR. You are scanning within ARR I. So you are scanning within ARR 4 because I is 4. This time I is 4. So you are scanning within ARR 4. And you have entered say 5. So ARR 4 becomes 5. So this is how you have scanned the numbers 1 by 1. And once you have scanned all these numbers within ARR 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, now you go out, all your ARR 0, 1, 2, 3 contains those numbers, have not been overridden. ARR 1 and ARR 0 are two different variables. It is a collection of similar data types, collection of integers. ARR 0 to ARR 99 are collection of integers which you have done. So you can print them. Your printing means, see, you are again starting from 0. You are again starting from 0. So you are entering over here with I equal to 0. First time you are printing ARR 0. Again you come back, I plus plus I is 1. You are printing ARR 1. Again I becomes 2. You are printing ARR 2. Again I becomes 3. You are printing ARR 3. And so on. You keep on printing them, printing the numbers. So this time it will work absolutely fine. You can comment out this portion also. And now run your code and see it will run absolutely fine. Enter n, say 6 numbers I will enter. Enter the 6 numbers 1 by 1. 3, 7, 11, 3, 7, 11, 6, 4, 9, say 6 numbers I have entered. So these 6 numbers have been entered. I press this. See, 3, 7, 11, 6, 4, 9 have been again printed. Before this printing, it will be better if you write a line like this. Printf, the numbers you entered were /n this. The numbers you entered were this. Now again run. See, I have just printed. Before printing the numbers, I have printed this heading. Again you keep on printing the numbers one by one. So again you run. Say enter n. Say 5. Enter the 5 numbers one by one. 2, 3, 9, 1, 7. 5 numbers. The numbers you entered were 2, 3, 9, 1, 7. So absolutely, this is what you wanted. You have got the numbers. Now you can do anything with the numbers you have scanned. You have scanned those numbers within something called. One thing that you might be having in your mind, like over here when I executed the program, I executed it with maybe 5 numbers, maybe 6 numbers, maybe 7 numbers, maybe 8 numbers. So how many these integers do I need? That I really don't know from the beginning. Now the thing is that, why did I declare 100? Array 100 means 100 numbers I have declared, but 100 numbers I did not use. See, the thing is, when I have written this program, I really did not know what the user is going to enter. User as n might be entering 5, might be entering 7, might be entering 100, maybe the user will be dealing with 100 numbers. I don't know how many numbers the user will be dealing with. Just randomly, I took that user will be declaring maybe up to 100 numbers user will be entering. This n may be up to 100 user will be entering. If you are not sure about that, if you think that user may be entering 200 numbers also, user may be entering 500 numbers also, you might take more numbers. Like if you would have done 1000, so that also doesn't matter. You can run it with 1000, hardly matters. Say again I run it. Say this same program, enter n, say I say 5. So I enter the 5 numbers one by one, say 5, 7, 8, 9, 1 and 2. It will print 5, 8, 9, 1, 2. So it hardly matters whether I have taken 1000 numbers or 100 numbers or what. It is just randomly I have taken 100 integers because I really don't know what the user is going to enter. This n in this case was 5, which means user wanted to deal with 5 numbers. I had to scan 5 numbers, then I had to print 5 numbers. However, I made provision for 1000 numbers that may also be entered by the user. I am not sure about that. Here, one thing I will also tell you, like over here you have used hash include stdio, hash include conio. There is one thing you can do. You can use something called hash define. Now what is that? Hash define n, a capital N, 1000. And over here, instead of writing ARR 1000, you can write ARR capital N. This will mean n you have defined as 1000. Hash define n is 1000. Now this n you have written instead of 1000. This n hash defined means whatever you have hash defined as something to be, it will be replaced. Like hash define n 1000 means anywhere in the program if capital N is found, it will be replaced by 1000. So over here the compiler, C compiler will find n, it will replace this capital N by the number 1000. Now then what? Then why did I not write 1000 and suddenly I decided to maybe hash define n 1000? This is because if at later stages this program is saved, if at later stages you feel that you need to change this n, you need a bigger space, user might enter 2000 data, user might enter 3000 data, then only a small change over here, changing it 2000 will do. You don't need to touch the internal part of the program. Inside the program you don't need to go. You just declare it outside. This is one way of doing it, hardly matters. It is only instead of writing ARR 1000, you declare or define n as 1000 and replace it by ARR n. It's the same thing. Even if you would have written 2000 over here, it hardly matters. So this is the thing. I think you have understood array program, but I will suggest you one thing. Keep on seeing this video. This video you repeat. You turn this entire video, listen to once more, Try to write array programs yourself. Maybe use this array variables, these variables within the array in a different way, different programs. You decide what program to write yourself, you decide and write it. Maybe I give you the next program. The next program is you scan the numbers one by one. While printing, you print in the reverse way. That program you can try yourself. Before I go, I will be doing that program in the next lecture. Prior to that, you try it yourself. So this is the thing. I would request you to see this program once more, and we will come back after a small break. Thank you.